Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a random review. I am Random Ross and today I review Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So this one is is written by Mark Bombach and Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, directed by Matt Reeves. Yep, that's right, you heard it, Matt Reeves is in The Batman. And it, of course, stars Andy Serkis, Jason Clarke, Gary Oldman, Kerry Russell, Toby Cabell, and Kobe Smith McPhee. So this takes place 10 years after Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where it says 10 years after the deadly simian flu. Half of the human population has died from the pandemic, and of course apes have really grown smarter from it, and in that time Caesar has built a whole community for his fellow apes. And then of course the humans, needing water and resources, one of them, played by Jason Clarke, goes to try and negotiate with Caesar so that they can power the dam to have power. But of course there is Gary Oldman's character, who thinks these apes are, immoral and abominations. Then there is Koba, who also thinks humans are evil and should all perish. And of course this starts a whole new conflict between the humans and the apes. Koba especially being, this time turning into a full-on villain and not just an ally of Caesar's. He eventually, becomes a ruthless dictator. And of course Gary Oldman's character, being the human antagonist, calls upon the help of an army. And then there's Jason Clarke's character as well, who is like the voice of reason and is like the human antagonist. They form a good friendship with he forms a good friendship with Caesar, and of course they all, it all ends up in a big fight. But this is only the dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because even though it ends on a downer note, we still have hope for Caesar and his apes. Of course, it would be a couple more years before we find out the resolving of this one, but we get it in the end. So what did I like about this one? Well, I like that it was a sequel, that the apes had evolved a lot more. Still good visuals on the apes, even though this was the second film where the apes were all CGI motion capture. Of course, Andy Serkis, he was brilliant as Caesar, and he just played the role brilliantly, capturing the movements. And you can't tell it's Andy Serkis under there. I mean, the chimp is CGI, but it's good CGI. I also like the return of other apes like Maurice from the previous one, the big orangutan, and how he stayed as a good friend to Caesar. We also get Koba, who goes full-on villainous, and of course I do kind of get where Koba is coming from, because Caesar wasn't as experimented or tortured like Koba was. But yeah, I do kind of get what Koba's coming from, but I believe he doesn't do it in the right way. However, in the final showdown, Caesar comes out victorious. Of course, every Caesar has a Brutus. I also thought Gary Oldman was alright in this. I mean, I feel he didn't have much of a screen time in it other than to be like the human villain. Jason Clarke, though, he was, a good character in this, and I like the on-screen friendship that forms between him and Andy Serkis' Caesar. And also, I liked how the whole ape community evolved, how the apes were evolving, especially when the apes were riding on the horses, warning the humans that they don't want any war, and that it's like apes together strong. Yeah, this was a fun sequel to Rise. Probably wouldn't say it was as good as Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but it was definitely a lot more of a darker tone to it. It was a bit more brutal, a bit more darker, and, again, we all know what's going to happen here. The humans will eventually downfall to it, and the apes will keep on evolving and getting smarter. I guess there are a few moments in there which I thought were a bit flat, and that, I mean, it's about 2 hours 10 minutes. That time flew by pretty quickly. It did. Flew by pretty quickly, and you know, I thought this was an okay one. So, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. What am I going to rate this one? I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5, because, like I say, I still enjoyed it. So 4 out of 5 for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So there you go. There is my review for that one. Have you seen it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. I've been Random Ross, and this has been a random review on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So, yeah, that's it for this one. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you wish. And until next time, I bid you all a goodbye, friends. Goodbye.